That's where you see Priyanka go like, she's not just Harry's girlfriend. She's actually Meghan Markle. She's on Suits. No one watches. What if the world can change me? Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Ilani of Barbados. I know I have taken a little break because my son came out of school, he started golf, I had my birthday. It's a lot, but I miss you guys so much and I wanted to come back and talk about these things. It's almost like it was tailor-made this last week. I know Priyankachopra. I was in Miss World with her. She won, representing India, and I was Miss Barbados, and I did not win, but it was an experience nonetheless.
Miss India.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no.
So way back when I did that video on the Oprah Winfrey interview with Meghan and Harry, I don't know why, I just felt like I knew Meghan, and now I know why. She's very good friends with someone that I do know very well called Priyankachopra. They're friends, but they're also Siamese twins of narcissism, which is probably why I felt like I knew what was going on in that interview. Let's talk about that. Okay, so first of all, we know that Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah is up for an Emmy award, which is an achievement award. It's supposed to be an achievement award. I'm not sure if they're taking the achievement as the amount of views they got, because that particular interview reached about, I don't know, 17.1 million US viewers. And then you have also the British viewers. It was a lot that went on that was very widely viewed. And I can understand if that is a reason for the Emmy, but nomination. It's a nomination. They haven't won it. But it's just interesting to see like how you can get nominated for such a big achievement award by telling a bunch of lies. And that is how I felt when I watched her, which is similar to how I felt about Priyankachopra when I met her in Miss World. So I'm going to talk about Miss World a little bit. I hope you're not too bored by that, but it is my experience and I can definitely tell you a lot about that. So where do I start? So recently in the news, Priyankachopra was seen to ignore Prince William, the Cambridges, Prince William and Catherine, when they entered Wimbledon, and she was playing with her scarf and she totally ignored the clapping when the Cambridges came into the box. And people are saying, well, there are other people who didn't clap or whatever, but you have to remember that Priyankachopra is now like a star, so the focus is on her as well. So like you'd have to really try to like single out yourself as not clapping as a star, because you know people are looking at you. And she was playing with her scarf a lot here, and you can see where she's, you know, trying to talk to people. She's an actress, darling, and I'm going to talk a lot about that later, but she is obviously doing it. And then they compared it a lot with when William ignored Meghan at Sandringham Christmas service they went to, and it was like, oh, he was also playing with his scarf. She was trying to talk to him, and he was also playing with his scarf, because there's a lot of footage of Meghan playing up to William a lot and talking up to him a lot, and it's awkward and it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit out of place. And so I guess this time he was ready and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play with my scarf. And like, I don't have a scarf, but I have a cleaner for my my screen here. I just play with it and just keep folding it and folding it around, you know. So he was ready. And so they said this was a very petty Mean Girls move, you know, to try to get, like, they planned it. Like Meghan and Priyanka said, okay, well, I'm gonna get him back, you know, I'm gonna walk into Wimbledon. You can't be at Wimbledon right now, but I'll be there for you, darling. And I will come there and I'll just not clap and I'll just play with my scarf too, and it'll just be this petty move with Petty P, Priyankachopra. But, you know, she is quite a calculating person, Priyanka is. I just knew that she was definitely a narcissist. When she went to Miss World, she was of this idea like she was just an academic and she's going to this Boston Latin school, and it's a competitive school academically, and she knew I was going to a very academically competitive school, so she tried to relate to me only because we were seated on the plane next to each other. We went on the flight from London to Sri Lanka together, which is a very long flight. It's like almost 11 hours. And she had this leather jacket, which she says in a later interview here that her traveling jacket is her leather jacket.
So this is a jacket that I literally live in.
Oh.
And
It's a hoodie.
Yeah, and it's my airport jacket, but it belonged to an ex-boyfriend.
So we're on the flight to Sri Lanka. On this flight, right, I got put next to her, and it's 2 seats next to each other. And she was trying to appeal to me, talking about this Boston Latin school that she was going to, and she was staying with relatives. So she had left India and stayed with relatives in the United States to attend this school. And so we were talking about that. So I knew the school, it's a high school. And we talked about that. And then I fell asleep. And when I woke up, her leather jacket was across my lap. Her bag was on my chest. Her like carry-on bag was like literally on my chest. And I woke up, I was like, what? I was like,
try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands.
what is this? She's like, oh, it's my jacket in my bag. And I was like, yeah, but you can't put it on me. You have to put it under the seat. Can you put it on the seat then? And she was like, yes. And she was spraying herself with this like spray bottle of water. So also we had this thing where when we were arriving, we were able to go to the bathroom in groups to like put our makeup on and everything. Cause you know, you have to arrive with your sash and your crown and everything. So they were taking groups and she was not going in the group. She was just doing her makeup there. So she was doing this spray bottle. I don't know. Don't you need to wash your face, girl? I mean, don't you have boo-boo in your eye? I don't know. But she was just spraying this bottle. And my hair, I was like, oh my God, my hair. And she was spraying this water all over me. And I was like, ugh. Total narcissist. Like, literally no, like, she doesn't care about anybody except herself. So I was like, oh my God, the water. And she was like, and she kept putting on the makeup over her old makeup, like her old dry up makeup. And she just kept pasting it on, and it was like she used a very silver iridescent makeup, and she just kept pasting and pasting. I was like, is this happening? So I went with my group to go to the bathroom and put on my makeup and wash my face and brush my teeth, and she just sat there like, serve me. We went to the Maldives for the swimsuit competition. It was held in the Maldives. So we flew from London to Sri Lanka, and then from Sri Lanka to the Maldives. And we were all clamoring for these press calls. And it was so weird because they would say, okay, we want the Caribbean girls, but we want Miss Jamaica, Miss you know, and it was always us like, we were friends, but we were still like, we need to get the press calls, because when you get the press calls and you get famous, like, so even internet voting and all those things, you get popularity. But strangely enough, she would never appear at the press calls that we were clamoring for, but then they would like interview her privately, like in her room, like on the balcony, and she'd have, so all this press stuff came out about her, but she wasn't at the press calls where you had to fight to like be noticed. It's a beauty contest, don't look too far into it. But and she also didn't appear at these meals. So apparently Miss Sri Lanka, who was in her bio as a biochemist, would be her like servant. So Miss Sri Lanka was like taking Priyanka's meals to her, and that's why she wasn't appearing at the communal restaurant. What happened was, at Miss World, the year I was in it, ZTV sponsored it. So ZTV is an Indian television station, and I noticed that when I went on stage, and you go out on stage and you're like, oh, let me look for my Barbadian flag, and you just look and you're like, there are a lot of people from India here. Like, it's like 75% of the audience was Indian, which is fine. But then also for the dance that we had to do, for the intro dance, we had to wear saris. So I'm not saying it's rigged, but it could be perceived as being rigged in terms of, do you know what I mean? It was very Indian centric for the first time ever. As I said, because it's owned by English people, white English people. And I mean, I kind of understand it. Like, I'm not gonna say not. Like, if your country's television station is sponsoring this international contest, you're gonna get favoritism. I get it, but it was just so overt, and it took us so long to catch on. Because listen, a lot of these women, like for example Miss Belgium, who I was friends with, I am friends with still, she was a huge model in Belgium. But Miss Belgium, Miss Norway, there were girls there that were absolutely famous in their countries, and they were cool. They were like, whatever. You know, they're like, gotta be on time, gotta get this outfit, got that outfit, whatever, let's go. Because the other thing about Miss World is, I got the feeling from the ones who had been to Miss Universe that it was a little bit of a lower budget thing, because at Miss Universe, they were supplied with a makeup artist, they were supplied with outfits, day wear, you know, it was all organized. They didn't have to bring them own clothes from their closet on their hangers from their home. We did have to do that. We had to. And we had to learn how, and that's the first time I learned how to do makeup. I didn't know before. So for her to have all these sort of attendants and staff, and like even employing in a way her equals to do her bidding, is a very interesting thing. And I think it's a cultural thing because of the caste system in India. I've been to India. I understand that there is this nuance there where, you know, women are sorry, everybody is in a caste. So you might look at somebody and say, oh yes, you're not in my caste, so come along, hurry up, do it.
Oh, lifeguards, go save some lives.
And it's not really relatable to the rest of the world, but I get it. So back in England, I know after the swimsuit competition, we went back to England to do our rehearsals for the opening dance and whatever. And at one of the rehearsals, Jerry Springer was there because he was the interviewer. He was the moderator for the show. And the Caribbean girls and the African girls were kind of sitting together because, listen, it's not because of our race, huh? The girls from the Caribbean and Africa were doctors and lawyers. Let's get real. Like, that's what it was. So you had, for example, Miss Nigeria talking about her practice. You had Miss Jamaica talking about her practice as a lawyer. You just had these women talking about things that we were there for 3 weeks. That's really long for 90 girls to be together. Miss Universe is like 2 weeks, barely. So Miss World is much more enduring. And at that point, when we went back for the last week of rehearsals, these women were talking about their real life at that point. It was like, you know, forget all this like beauty queen stuff. Let's talk about what we're doing. So it's like the people that came together at the table I was at this particular day were people talking about their professions, their ambitions, and like what they need to get back to, and, you know, their country and their obligations and everything. And Jerry Springer came and sat with us. So we sat there and we talked with him, and he was very interested in us. He's very funny. He's actually really hilarious. Or maybe we were just starved of any kind of like comedy, because at that point it was just so straight-faced. But we had met obviously celebrities at the Miss World contest because our judges were celebrities and all of that. But Jerry Springer kind of stood out because he was just so unjaded. He was not jaded. He was so cool. And we were laughing with him and talking with him. And of course, Priyankachopra was not included in that table because she's never there. But all of a sudden she was there. And she was like, say, what's up? Is that the host of the show? Let me go over there. So then she came over and sat down at the table, and she started speaking to us. Hi, everybody. Hello. I was wondering where you all were. I was looking for you everyone. And she sat there, and we were all like side-eyeing her, like. And anyway, that was the only time that she really made an effort with any girls, was when Jerry Springer came to our table. Because she just didn't have to do much. It was like she was just lying in her bed for 3 weeks, and everyone else was hustling, trying to get press calls, trying to be interesting, trying to talk about their country, trying to talk about what we were there to do is promote our country and our ideas. And so we were constantly talking and hustling, and she was just never there. Then all of a sudden she makes the finals. What? But where was she for 3 weeks? Because also she told me in the plane, she said that she doesn't want to be famous, she doesn't want to be a celebrity, she's an academic, when like that's not true, clearly. And a lot of girls were there to become famous in their country, and they admitted to that. Miss Venezuela, for example, she was like, if I win or if I make the top 10, my career is set in Venezuela. I will be a soap star. I will be, celebrated. And that's what I'm here for. But this liar was like, I didn't want any of this. And she was acting like she did want it the whole time. Like she was already acting like a star. A lot of the girls are very tall. And so Priyanka was not tall. And she also was very different from how she looks now. She wasn't as modified. She didn't have as many mods on her. Like her skin was changing and her surgeries on her face had not happened yet. Her skin especially was in a transition, allegedly, of being bleached. So she had like a very splotchy skin complexion almost. And she didn't, when we did the swimsuit judgment, she didn't take off her wrap. She had a very long wrap on and she didn't take it off, whereas the rest of us had to like literally be in a bikini, like boom, this is us. And she didn't have to do any of that. There was just a lot of stuff that made no sense. She came after me. So I looked at her and I saw that she did not take off that wrap, and her arms had a lot of splotches and she had a whole piece on. She didn't have to like show anything. We were all like, we had like 10 bikinis, and we had to show it and we had to be confident with it. And I don't know. She is petty and she's obviously Meghan's friend. And there was an interview with Wendy Williams where I don't know if she, let's watch it actually, because I don't know if she's on something or like what's going on.
So
Very, very Italian.
okay, I just found
I think I need something to drink.
you're friends with Meghan Markle,
Right.
Prince Harry's girlfriend.
Also, Meghan Markle, actress.
I mean, I
suits,
know.
her achievements.
I understand that.
That's where you see Priyanka go like, she's not just Harry's girlfriend. She's actually Meghan Markle. She's on Suits. No one watches. She's on Suits, And it's just painful to watch. And she's like, I need a drink. And I was thinking at the time, like, I don't want to say it, but I was like thinking, is she drunk? But then she's like, I need a drink. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Sorry, girl.
Ahead of Meghan and Harry's wedding, Priyanka gushed about her friend to Access Hollywood.
We're very close friends. You're going to the wedding. How excited are you for your friend Meghan?
Well, I'm really happy for her. I think, just, I guess as a friend, I wish her the world, and I wish that, this is a really big move and it'll be a big change for her. But I do think that she's one of those people in the world. Like, she will turn into a strong female icon, and I think the girls of the world really need that because she genuinely cares about the world. She's always been someone who's philanthropic, just nice, and she's a girl's girl, She's one of those people who's really real. So it's really nice to see that, she's like one of us. And I hope that, I think she has the serious potential of being a huge influencer in the world.
But I've been dying to make a video on her from the time I saw, because my son likes to watch the music video with her and her husband, the Jonas guy. I don't know, whatever. Whichever one he is. And I'm just like, oh my God. My son doesn't even understand they actually know this person. And she's nuts. And she has a lot of other problems here. I'm going to talk about my friend Agita, who is one of my subscribers, who asked me to look at 5 shady things about Priyankachopra. And, it's like a lot of tax evasion, or I don't know, alleged tax evasion, alleged police coming to her house to raid her house to finding money under her mattress that she's been hiding. A lot of, again, back to the dating married men, and then she has had work done and she never admitted to that. And her excuse was that her parents are doctors, and if she had any modifications done, they would know. But, okay, and maybe they do know. How do we know that they don't know? Like, have they come out and spoken publicly about the fact that they don't see? Have they given their professional expertise opinion about your nose job? Her mouth has always been big. I don't think she's done anything to her mouth. Oh my God, I've been talking so long about this girl. I don't know. Priyanka, do you? But you definitely come across like Meghan Markle's Siamese twin. Like, she literally found her twin. And the connection is narcissism. They are both complete narcissists. I felt like I had seen Meghan Markle in another life. Like, I really felt like that. And, you know, the Emmy criteria, honestly, I don't think they're going to win. They're nominated, but I don't think they're going to win. But if they do, I will have a hell of a lot to say about that. Because Emmys, we know they're not the Oscars. But still, Oprah maybe can win it because she scored that. She got that scoop. And it went viral. We also went viral who talked about it. So that's important because that is kind of an achievement in terms of numbers. But I don't think that you should award a program. I don't think you should award lying. And something so egregious in these times that is racist, meaning it incites racism, I don't think you should do that without evidence. My only problem is people talking about, oh, she threw the family under the bus. She didn't throw the royal family under the bus because she had no evidence. She threw herself under the bus, and therefore the entire interview is discredited. It's void, and it's not content. It's cancelled because they cancel people for so much less. Where is the evidence? If you had brought evidence, then this could have been a landmark, you know, controversial interview, but it's not. Anyway, I want to show you this beautiful woman who was Miss Jamaica, who won Miss World recently, and she's extremely talented. Her name is Tony Ann Singh, S-I-N-G-H, so she is half Indian. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do this outro with this extremely talented Miss World, and she won Miss World in 2019. Watch Tony Ann. All right, bye.